Hello and welcome, Rangers. I'm Joe, here with me is my co-host Dan.
Hello and greetings.
And today on Shot for Shot Analysis, we've got the scene where the Tengu Warriors get the upper hand on the Rangers. Now, this is actually a scene I really like. It's one of my favorite action scenes because the Rangers do crap here. They get their butts whooped. And the reason I love that is we see this one thing that you never see in, let's say, post... I'll say anything that comes after, like, 2005. No, 2004, when it comes to superhero movies. The hero's actually struggling. It is something I really don't like, and I'll actually say something. I kind of blame Star Wars Episode 3 in this regard. You know, Episode 3 is basically a perfect movie, and its action scene at the end is perfect. Superheroes took the wrong lesson from it. For a short time, they went, oh, we have to have all the heroes and villains buddy up together. Remember that?
Oh, boy.
It was dumb. But they also derived the wrong lesson of, so the hero must utterly curb stomp the villain with no difficulties. That's not it at all. The reason people love the Vader-Obi-Wan fight is because they're so evenly matched. And actually, to be quite honest, Vader kind of dominates most of the fight. You could tell Obi-Wan's struggling. Like, most of the kicks to the face, most of the punches, most of the little hits and the nicking, no, not of the lightsaber, but like of whatever against their face or against their body. Vader's really fighting dirty and hitting Obi-Wan with everything. And Obi-Wan is, he's not doing good. You can see he's completely outmatched and overpowered. He's up against the Chosen One. It's only when they get on when the station kind of tilts, and, you know, like they're going towards the lava pit, and they start fighting in the skies. It's only at that point that Obi-Wan starts to gain the upper hand. Because the difference is, you know, Obi-Wan kind of knows how to use his surroundings better. And in a raw fist fight, Vader's stronger. But Obi-Wan is more resourceful and clever. He is the cleverest Jedi around. Now, the Rangers are in a situation like Obi-Wan at the beginning of the fight. They can't just rely on cunning and resourcefulness. They don't have those advantages. The enemy's too fast. And the Tengu Warriors aren't just relying on numbers, but speed, like I said. They are really fast, and they're relying on the fact that the Rangers we're not expecting them, and that the Rangers are slower than them. So they're using what advantages they have to their strengths, and this is how you fight. The Tengu are not stupid. They're actually smarter than Ivan, I would argue. But the thing is, what I also like is that you have Billy and Rocky who take a moment to be stupid, and you have Billy who says, the funny thing about morphing is that, you don't quite appreciate it until you can't do it anymore. Excuse me. And Rocky, is kind of like, because the funny thing about morphing, yeah, what's that? Well, here's the problem. The two boys, of course, are going to spend what seems like their last moments having a bromance, but it's like, listen, I know you guys are basically best friends, but time and place, bros. But on the other hand, it does add a small scene of bonding between the two. And this is something they did do a lot in the actual TV series. Rocky and Billy did a lot of bonding. These were two characters who were very fond of each other. From season 2 to Zeo. They started off between the OG trio and the Stone Canyon trio. These were the two who didn't... Well, Rocky really liked Billy, but Billy really didn't like Rocky. He was a bit of an a-hole to him. And in some ways, kind of bullied him intellectually. But, we got this thing that so few writers understand how to do these days. Character development. Yeah. So now we're at the point where the two are basically just going, well, their instinctive reaction to a problem is to turn to each other. So we do have a great romance there. We, of course, have Adam, crying out, we need our powers. They're too strong. Kimberly is seized, of course, and taken into the air and calls the Tango Warrior Big Bird. Fairly apt. Except Big Bird was yellow. And
less mean.
Yeah, and the Tango Warrior is a member of BLM. So I couldn't resist that joke. So, yeah, or is it PLM? Purple? Okay, this joke completely fell apart on me.
Yeah.
Okay. Like, Kimberly nearly did. Due to what the Tonga Warrior was going to do to her.
She wouldn't have just been pink, but a bit more black and blue.
No, she'd have been, anyways. Thankfully, Dulcea shows up. In a splendid outfit that covers too much. I'm joking. And I do like the whistling effect of the sticks and whatnot. For some reason, it just reminds me of some of the Celtic goddesses with music, and how music's almost a weapon, and they have song battles. And you see the same thing in the Silmarillion with Tolkien. I actually really like this, that she uses sound and the winds to an extent to chase away the Tonga warriors. That adds a layer to the character, I find. An almost Celtic mystic element. But there's also an element of Athena with Dulcea, which I really like. Oddly enough, I've been warming up to Athena in recent months as a character.
Interesting.
Mostly because I'm back to checking out the Odyssey. And let's be honest, in the Odyssey, Athena's a freaking hero. Trying to do everything she can just to reunite a family. Even though it's implied she's kind of into Odysseus, but she wants him to reunite with Penelope and live happily ever after. She's the shipper on deck. You cannot enter the Odyssey and leave it not thinking, she's a good woman, her. Would.
And
I'm kidding.
And Dulcea is rather intelligent and wise.
Yeah, well, she does end up taking a few out with her stick and dispatching them easily. So you can see that she is a warrior. And, yeah. Now, we're going to get into the scene between her and the Rangers next time. So, yeah. And remember, Rangers, may the power protect you!